Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So currently, at the time that I am recording this, it is 4 in the morning. Prices are most likely going to change quite a bit. I usually wait to see the indices open, but I am traveling still. I was traveling for the 4th of July, so until I do get back in the office, things are going to be a little bit different. So I do apologize ahead of time, but I want to give you guys a quick warning for anybody that is utilizing Binance for Binance US, for all those US based customers. I want you guys to understand that you should all be having deep buy orders that you don't expect to get hit, but if they do get hit, you would be very, very excited about them being hit. And the reason why I bring this up is because if we go back to the let's actually go back to the 3-month span here. So we could actually technically go back on the 1 month. So here is some of these deep wicks. Like the lowest that we went here was almost like 6 cents, for an example. And I've been telling you guys that I've had my buy order set in place ahead of time. And I actually had a buy order get filled today at almost 5.5 cents. It was 0.056 cents. It was for $1,000. And I said, this is why you always have scam wick buy orders in place. You never know when liquidity hunts will take place. But we are already in some nice profit on this buy order. I think at the time when I tweeted that, it was over $100 in profit. I continued to stack Hbar cheap, and yes, my heavy buys are still a bit lower, but I have been DCing, and yes, I do have buys at around 5 cents, 4.5 cents, even 4 cents itself. But I was surprised that my other buy order did not get hit. So, that was kind of a little bit weird. But ultimately, yeah, this was a great buy order that got hit, and it was through a liquidity hunt on Binance US. So for anybody who is utilizing Binance US, do this, especially, for some nice buy orders to possibly get targeted. I know that Bitcoin itself on Binance US, actually going back to October or so, it came down to about $8,200. So, and the run after that was $65,000. So the overall profit on those scam wicks are actually pretty insane. So I just wanted to give you guys that quick warning ahead of time. Now, also, this tweet here tells me that we are still fairly early in regards to, not only Hedera, but also in crypto. We do see down here from Jimmy Song. He's saying that proof of stake does not solve the Byzantine general's, problem. Therefore, it does not provide decentralized consensus. And we actually do see, the Hbar Foundation quoting this and saying the Hedera network solves the Byzantine general's problem. It is ABFT, the gold standard of security for a consensus algorithm. This is proven by the COQ math proof of Carnegie Mellon. Hedera is also carbon negative research from UCL. And when we really kind of look at the overall statistics around Hedera, so I'm sure that a lot of you have probably seen this statistic in the past in regards to kilowatts an hour, or watt hour per transaction, we kind of compare this to even Visa, Algorand, etc. And I actually want to put a spotlight on this because we are actually going to be talking about Mastercard today in this video, and that's going to be a very, very interesting subject, but it does kind of play into even Visa because they're both kind of similar in regards to the kilowatts an hour, etc., in regards to per transaction. But you can definitely see where Hedera has been positioned, and yes, ABFT definitely does go a long way. Not only did they figure out the trilemma around blockchain, but they've also of course solved the Byzantine general's problem. Now, also talking about Hbar, I don't know why this just reloaded like that. That was kind of weird. We do see from Hbar to the moon, Hedera ecosystem is evolving at a really fast pace because most important services are already available on the mainnet. HTS, native tokens, and NFTs, smart contracts 2.0, scheduled transactions, and more. Developers can build complex Web 3.0 dApps with Web 2.0 experience. Now, with this, it's funny because I have been making videos on Hbar NFTs, and honestly, the NFT sector around Hedera, if you are not paying attention to it, is absolutely insane. I just made a video on my NFT channel I was talking to you guys about an NFT project. This goes back like 1 week ago now. You were able to mint the NFT project for about 100 Hbar. At the time, I think it was like worth like $6 maybe per one. I minted 92 of them. So I minted 9,200 Hbar worth of these NFTs. And right now, currently, we're sitting at about 4x the floor price. So it's like 38,000 Hbar off of a 9,200 investment. And it's just crazy how fast the NFT sector is actually exploding right now. And there's so much, focus on it. It really gets me excited for the future of Hedera, not only in regards to like adoption, but also just like in regards to just everything happening around it, in regards to like the use cases being built out as well. And we also do see over here, I don't know why it's reloading, I do apologize, but we do see from Coinman the H Barbarian, Yamgo app rewards its users in HBAR for doing stuff they do online already, such as playing games or watching videos. This blog article outlines why Hedera Hashgraph is the perfect DOT for the Yamgo platform. Now, I don't know if you guys remember me talking about Yamgo, because this goes back to like January when I first discussed this project. But they are, breaking down a few use cases that could be utilized. So let me actually zoom in real quick. Did not mean to open that. Wow, I am dropping the ball here as we do really kind of try to zoom in here. I apologize. I'm utilizing a completely different, computer right now. But nonetheless, we do see here, through its unique consensus mechanism, Hedera Hashgraph is able to support over 10,000 transactions per second, has bank-grade security and staggeringly, low fees, all with its energy consumption per transaction, 100,000 times lower than Ethereum. They have a little bit of a typo there. All good. I'm not going to judge them. But yeah, I mean, like, this is the truth, like, around, Hedera. Basically, it has everything going for it, especially when you compare it to, like, something like, Ethereum, for example. But we also do see down here, what is HBAR and why does Yamgo use it? They definitely, talk about the power behind Hedera, the clean energy, things like that. And then we do see, like, what are the use cases of Hashgraph? Now, this is where we really kind of look at it and kind of see where we could be headed. So not only do they, focus on, the thousands of developers to create, groundbreaking new products, basically working within Hedera, but they are also mentioning a few use cases in regards to like industries such as safe and secure medical records, supply chain verification, security systems, payments, gaming, and much more. Several different companies use Hedera Hashgraphs or Hedera's Hashgraph, in different ways to achieve different things. Take Yamgo for an example. Yamgo grants users the ability to complete day-to-day tasks while earning, HBAR. And I think that this is a very, very solid project. I mentioned it back, like I said, in January, and I don't think that a lot of people really kind of dived into it. So, definitely look at Yamgo if you haven't already. I think that it is a very, very good use case for the retail, individual. Now, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. So, obviously, you guys know about ServiceNow with DLA Piper talking about like real-time tokenized budgets using Toko, and Hedera addressing common inefficiencies within enterprises related to chargebacks, transparency, and ESGs. I think that this is a very, very solid use case. I think that this is awesome. Now, the reason why I bring this back up, because we've talked about this in the past. We've discussed how large tokenization could be. And it really kind of takes me to my next tweet, which was the one that I tweeted out earlier. And I was saying, tokenization on Hedera is going to be revolutionary. I can easily see the future tokenization market being valued well over $50+ trillion. HBAR won't capture all of this, but even the smallest amount of that is life-changing. And yes, this is 100% true. Like, when we look at what the World Economic Forum projected, like the tokenization market by like 2027, I think it was like over like $20 trillion. So again, like, tokenization is a big deal, and I don't think that enough people are really kind of paying attention to it. Now, this takes me to my next article that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is from Mastercard. Now, they're saying, what is card tokenization and why should you go for it? So first off, they're saying, here's how Donnie secures his transactions. Now, down here, we do see them breaking this method down. They're talking about like the payments industry has been abuzz with the word tokenization, touted to be further of card-based payments. Tokenization's sudden traction can be linked to the Reserve Bank of India's mandate for the adoption of card on file (COF) tokenization, as an alternative to card storage. The deadline for which is June 30th, 2022, which we've already kind of seen that deadline being targeted. But they're definitely talking about like the adoption of digital payments, tokenization in general, even users' data and things like that. I think that when we really kind of look at tokenization, it's going to be much larger than what a lot of people really kind of assume it to be, simply because here's tokenization on your Mastercard, for an example, right? Here's the benefits: enhanced safety and security, quicker checkouts, no more false declines, easy card management, no need for a physical card, and added benefits. And this is all through a digital credit card. Again, you guys, I don't know if you remember when I initially started to talk about tokenization, I was like, everything, every single market, every single industry, and every single individual will be, basically, I would say, a part of this journey. Like everyone will experience, tokenization firsthand, because it's going to be catered to markets like this. Like when we talk about like debit cards and credit cards, they have not been updated and seen a major disruptive like technology added to it since like the 1960s. So to me, this is perfect. And we do see like tokenizing your card is super simple. By the way, like I know that this seems a little bit rough in regards to like quality aspect. It's just because like I'm actually looking at this in a like zoomed in state. But we do see like tokenizing your card is super simple. Punch your card details in, select the option to save securely for future payments, and then enter the OTP sent via SMS, and you're done. And yeah, I think that this is great. Again, it kind of takes me back to Visa though. Right? Because initially, like I said, when we compare Visa, Mastercard is right around it. And if they actually, were to build on something like Hedera, they could, gain the efficiencies around Hedera's ledger itself. And I've always said, like, as Visa and Mastercard scale their payments network, they actually pay more, and it eats into their revenue greatly. So when when we look at that, and like if they could build on something like Hedera, it could actually be very disruptive and very beneficial to those networks. And also, in regards to MasterCard, there was this that came up 13 hours ago. U.S. Commerce Department asked digital asset industry for input on competitiveness framework. And, we do see down here the federal agency received 8 responses to a request for comment on a document mandated by the U.S. President Joe Biden's March 9th executive order on digital assets. And the funny thing here is that when we really kind of look at it, like MasterCard responded. It's led by a 16-page letter from MasterCard in regards to the, response. So let's actually dive into this and let's look at this. So first off, we do see MasterCard said in its response that the United States was in particularly strong position as both a financial services and technological innovation hub. It urges several steps to be taken to preserve those advantages. Lack of regulatory clarity is a significant obstacle. Business and innovation, MasterCard wrote, adding MasterCard therefore supports the view that a U.S. Administration should consider leadership in the regulation of digital assets as a key enabler of the overall competitiveness of American firms in this sector. And yes, this is the truth. Like, we're seeing MasterCard and a lot of these major payment companies urging, the U.S. to basically step in and like take, a hold of regulatory clarity around this space. Because again, if they don't innovate further in the United States, companies outside of the U.S. that already have like regulatory clarity around, digital assets and crypto itself are going to absolutely stomp out MasterCard and even Visa and even PayPal and things like that. So I could definitely see the focus point here. And I think that this is great. And again, like when we talk about tokenization, are we going to assume that MasterCard, for example, is going to choose Hedera for tokenization or like even build on Hedera? No, I'm not going to sit here and say like, hey, they are going to 100% do that. No. But I could definitely see a future on where we could potentially see that happen. And not only that, but I could also see a future where, tokenization becomes greatly adopted. And what is going to allow for that to actually happen? Regulatory clarity. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As those up that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.